Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Meloncita, and today I am going to be doing video 1 of a 2-part series talking about 2023, how it went, and then 2024, my lineup. So if you're interested in seeing more, then keep watching. Wow, I'm really rusty at this. It's been a while since I've been on here or anywhere really, but yes, I am back, and I have been using my planners to an extent. And so I kind of wanted to just kind of go over how 2023 went, how I used my planners, and what I took away from that, and how I'm going into 2024 with something new, but also carrying over what I learned and carrying over the things that worked. So yeah, let's get started. Like I said, this is a 2-parter, so if you're interested more in just what I'm going to be using next year, I will have a video down below and somewhere on here about what my actual lineup will be. So if you just want to skip through 2023 and just move forward to 2024, go ahead and check out that video instead. But if you're interested in to see kind of my 2023 recap, then keep watching. Sorry, it's been a little bit. So if you've seen my previous video last year setting my 2023 planners up, this might sound kind of familiar, but it's been a year, so I'll just recap. I started 2023 with 6 planners, essentially a Franken planner where I have 3 different planners in 3 sections in a big happy planner, which is a disc-bound system, with a total of 6 planners. So this is not the first section. This is the first section. I'm using, it's a Franken planner, but it's also like a transformer planner. And so I have one cover with one section, a second cover with a second section, and then a final cover for my third section. And so it's a transformer because it transforms. It takes like a full planner, I guess. I don't know how to describe it except that it transforms. So the 3 sections that I had in my big planner were my life planner, or my life section, which had my catch-all, which had my to-do lists and events and things like that, and then my budget, which I used the budget bomb. The second planner area that I had was my journal section, which had 2 journals. This is new, but 2 journals. One was more like it was a horizontal planner where I did my daily blurbs, and the second one was just more like my creative journal, which is where I did kind of like the decorative highlights of the week. And then my third planner was actually my goal planner, which is my Makse Life mock-up. It was with a big monthly planner that I used. It had one area where, I guess I can just show you. This is where I would keep track of all of the things that I did in the month. This is where I would kind of decorate to have my monthly goals. I would have my weekly actions up here, and then I did my weekly reflections down here. At least that was the thought. So those were how I intended to start 2023 and go from there. So how did it all work out? It worked out okay. So for my catch-all, it worked out okay. I guess I can show. So this is I forgot what it was. It was it was an hourly planner. Yeah, this is the week that I'm filming, and I'm actually filming on the 31st. So I've been stuck figuring all these things out, but it was basically an hourly planner. I didn't use it like an hourly. I used it mainly kind of like a checklist kind of thing where it was separated. And it worked out okay. There was a lot of space to do a lot of things, and I used up the space, but I didn't. It was more of just how would I describe it? I would sometimes use it for to-dos, so just kind of like a running checklist for each day. I would use up a big space to figure out meal planning. It just depended on what I needed for the time, but it wasn't really structured in any way. So I didn't really need that much space. It was nice to have, but I can do that in other places. And then in my second section, I did have the budget by paycheck workbook method by the Budget Mom. I've been using this since 2019, and this has been working really well for us, so I'm definitely keeping this in here. But yeah, that's how it's been working so well for me. I also use in this section a dashboard layout. All right, this was a good one. So this is the dashboard layout, and I use it in tandem with my budget planner. So I keep my daily expenses, keep track of my daily expenses here, and then I use this space to kind of, I have this weird system of running our budget, but I use this section as kind of just like a area where I figure and plan things out based on the budget. It's a really complicated system that only makes sense in my head, but it's been keeping us afloat and we've been having good money, so that's good. These areas will be revamped, just spoiler alert, but it worked well for the year for what we were doing and how we needed to do it. The second section, which is my journal section, well, this is new, but spoiler alert, this is new, is basically I used it as a horizontal. If you've seen any of like my plan with me's or my, what are they called? What did I call them? Oh, prep planner videos. These might look really familiar to you. But this is basically where I keep kind of like I guess you can look at it as a gratitude journal and planner. So I used the monthly and I would decorate all the spots. I used the monthly for kind of just like daily highlights. I picked colors based on the colors that I chose to decorate. And then on the weekly, I would write down kind of just, I would lightly decorate, but keep room for me to journal about the day, mainly about like how things went or what happened during the day. And so that's what I was using these for. These are staying. I'm a little behind on this, but this is what I would call my creative journal. It's mainly more of like keeping a highlight of the little things that happen throughout the day. I guess a version of this that I've heard someone say is kind of like a to-do planner. Like instead of a to-do, it's a to-do, like the things that you did do. But I wouldn't really call it that. It's more of just like keeping, I guess it'd be like memory planning. This is an example of when I started. This is in September. I'm like way behind. But I basically back plan and I catch up on all of the little things that happened during the day. So this is an example of a kind of spread that I did for September. I use sticker kits to kind of decorate, use all the little icons and things like that. And just basically it's like a really pretty planner page spread of all the, trying to keep track of the memories and all the little things that happen throughout the day. But yeah, I will probably continue this too. It's a good way for me to use up my sticker kits and I just really like how it looked. On the monthlies, I would do kind of like little highlights, but decorative, like the big things that happened, if there was anything big, and if there wasn't, just little things that happened throughout the day. And then my last planner that I had in here is my kind of Makse Life mock-up planner. I used a monthly planner, which I did show a little bit in the beginning. This is where I kept track of the weekly actions that I did complete, and I color-coded it and everything. It was great. I decorated this for my monthly, I think I did like my monthly goals here. And then weekly actions and weekly reflections. And then I would do, sometimes if I needed a fifth week, I'd do it here, but this is where I would do the monthly reflections. And then here is where I would kind of brainstorm what monthly goals and weekly actions for the next month. So this is kind of getting revamped too. So this is new and there's a lot of new things that I added into my systems this year. This is actually a late edition. I did the HB90 bootcamp in Q4 of 2023, and so I did obviously Q1 of 2024. Not really ready to show this yet, but this will not be a physical planner. I also, what else did I add? I don't think I added anything here, but I did add something in my journal. So for my creative journal, another thing I added was a way to keep track of all of the daily little things that happened. I know it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense in my head. I introduced this little like B6, it was a Sticker Guru daily planner from the Sticker Guru, it's a sticker shop. I use this to keep track of, initially I would write all the little things that happened throughout the day just to remind me. Let's see what's a good example of something. Yeah, my writing is horrendous, but yeah, I just like would write little things that I did, like on this Sunday on 9/24, I did like the Sewing 101 class. I stopped by the library, we had Thai food, and I would just write down all of the things that happened during the day. I also started using this to keep track of, and I know that not everybody will agree or like might not really like it, but or understand, and that's totally fine. It's not your thing, it's cool. But I did recently start getting into like tarot, and I would do like a daily pull in the morning, and this is where I keep track of it, the meanings and stuff like that. That's where I would just to keep track of it for my records. So that was an addition to this. I also added, is it in this? Yes. I also added in this planner a reading journal, but it's not really a reading. Yeah, it's more like a reading journal than a reading planner. And it's basically, I have these leftover pages from my previous job, and I didn't want to put them to waste. So, I also picked up a lot more reading, and I found that I had a lot of thoughts in my head that I wanted to put down on paper. Not necessarily reviews, but just a way to keep track of, like, when I would read a certain part of a book, I would write down like my initial thoughts about it. And that started to become a habit. It started in July, I think, when I started reading the ACOTAR series. I had so many thoughts, and so I wanted to write it down somewhere, and that's where this started. It's just like basically plain paper. This actually needs to go, but I just finished House of Sky and Breath, which is Crescent City series. This is the second one. The third one's coming out next month, and so I was actually rereading this. And so I write down like the chapters I read, what day, and then just kind of a little blurb. So it's really more like a journal than a planner. I also did it for mangas. I started reading Demon Slayer manga, and I would write instead of each chapter, I would just do like each collection or each manga. I even did it for video games. I haven't picked up this game in a while. House of the Dragon. I know I'm late to the party. But once I finish, I actually do keep them, and I put them in a notebook that I have. I am currently reading Jurassic Park, and this will actually help me with a reading challenge that I'm doing next year, which is like the Aurelie Alana's 24 in 2024. It's reading 24 books. It's like a really easy going challenge where you can like kind of choose your own books, and there's like different prompts and themes and things like that. And so I'm going to try to do that. And this will probably continue with me too. So those were the new, I have one more addition. Hold on. So another addition that I had is this A5 journal. This was kind of an accident. I thought it was a planner, but I don't know. I don't really know anything about stylogy stuff. And so instead, I saw 6 months, and so I was like, oh, cool. It's like a planner, but it's not. It's a journal. It's like a notebook, and so I used it for like a journal. It's more of like just decorating and then writing out each day. This is really more in depth about my feelings, so that's why I'm kind of like shutting it a little bit. But I do decorate this and then just write how I'm feeling that day. It was nice. I'm almost done with it, but I think it'll go past the new year, which is okay. I just also decorated with all these stickers that I had. I just wanted to try something different and new, and I really liked it. And so this actually influenced something else in my lineup. So those are the new additions to my planners. Oh, and one more thing. Sorry, I totally forgot. So I mentioned that I track my tarot in my B6 notebook. And so I actually have this kind of random notebook that I have where I actually journal each day, my pulls. And I think this is since, hold on, let me double check. Oh yeah, this was since like October. I've been doing that, and this is up until today, the 31st, and I still have a lot to go, but I don't know. It looks so cool, like it's so fluffy. I should preface this by saying that like I'm no expert at this, and I just started, so I don't want to give anybody any ideas of like, oh, like I'm an expert, because I'm not. I just started, but this is how I've been doing it, and if I am, each person does it their own way, and that's totally cool. I'm still discovering how I'm doing it, so this is what I've been doing. So this section is usually the actual journaling section. So these are the cards that I pull and I journal about it. And then this section, I just decorate with whatever washi I felt like and then carry it over into here. put a bunch of stuff on here. It's really helped me to practice like straying away from perfectionism and trying to be perfect all the time. And so I think that's why I really liked it so much. It was hard at first, definitely, to not think so hard about it and just let it go with the flow, but I'm kind of embracing it. So this will be carried over in some form or another. So those are the additional things that I added. So thinking of the year ahead, just some some thoughts that I had is that there are aspects of these planners that I definitely want to carry over into the next year. That's actually what these post-it notes are. And that's what I'm going to be pulling into the next year. However, it won't be it actually will be kind of like a Franken planner like this, but not this thick and a little bit more spread out. It seemed to be working, which is great. But there are a lot of things that happened throughout this year. There were some major events in our lives that happened, and it changed a lot in our lives and in a lot of different areas in our life. I probably should have said this in the beginning. But so one of the first major things is that our dog, if you didn't know, I had a German Shepherd Yellow Lab mix. Her name was Medley, and in the middle of the year, she actually we had to decide, and she actually crossed the Rainbow Bridge in the middle of the year. She was 10 years old. She was a huge part of our lives, and if you know, you know, right? It was the first time we've ever experienced something like this, meaning me and my husband, and it hurt a lot. It took a lot out of us, and it really kind of, what would you call it? Flipped our world upside down, basically. So having to live our lives and working through all of that, not just the grief, but also a change in our schedule, a change in kind of like how we do things in our lives. It really made me reevaluate a lot of things. We're doing fine now. It just, it turned so many things around. That was one of the major events. The second major event, I did get a new job, which also changed a lot too. It changed a lot of my time and a lot of my priorities. And, I'm pretty much a remote worker. So I work from home for the most part. So that also changed a lot. And then the last thing is that towards the end of this year, I actually decided to kind of work on my health and work on fitness, health, nutrition goals. And so I actually hired a coach to help me with my nutrition and exercise. So that also changed a lot in our lives of how we schedule, what we have to do, what I'm really paying attention to, and what I have to actually plan. So what does that mean for my planners? Well, since my goals have changed and a lot of things have changed, my systems worked, but now I have to think differently and kind of reprioritize and reevaluate what really I need to keep track of. So with all that said, I do have an idea of what I want to do next year. And like I said, this is a 2-part series. So this is kind of like a recap of 2023. It was a great year. It was a roller coaster of a year with so many events happening. But when you look at like the whole flow of things, it was a pretty great year, and I'm excited for 2024. So if you're interested in my actual lineup, I will have a second video that should be coming out at the same time as this. But thank you so much for watching. This is the end of this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to see what 2024 has in stock for me. I really am hoping to get more videos out again. And so, if you like what you saw and you want to see more of my videos, go ahead and click on my face to subscribe to my channel. It's been a while since I've said that, so this is kind of weird. But yeah, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Hopefully 2024 lineup is a little bit more interesting. But yeah, I will. If you are watching this and you're going to hop over to there, I will see you in a few seconds. And if not, I hope I see you in my next video. Bye.